We all come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibility everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibility everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, and we learn to love in this room. from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room,
Good morning, good morning. Okay, let me get myself centered here. Been running in circles. Good morning to everybody joining us online. So we've got some changes today, and I'll give you lots of information about that as we move through the morning. But we're going to start with a community song that we all know because familiarity is helpful in change. Gary Lynn Floyd's One Big Family. I invite you to stand, sit, run around the room, whatever works for you. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are one, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family, hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Look over and smile at somebody. Turn around and wave at the people online. Okay, here we go. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Excellent. Small but mighty voices we are. So good morning. My name is Reverend Rafe Ellis, and I am honored and privileged to be the senior minister and spiritual leader here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. I want to take a moment, and I'm going to be doing this very intentionally for a while as CSL Greater Baltimore does their closing ceremony and release ceremony over the next couple of weeks. Just want to begin specifically welcoming you. This is your home. We cannot wait to have you join us. All right. If you are live streaming or have a cell phone, whatever the case may be, if you are so inclined to share this live stream on any social media platform or to email it to folks, that would be great. It just makes us more visible, more available to people who might be interested. If this is your first time joining us, either online or here in the room, welcome. Here's what we want you to know. No matter who you are, no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, no matter what spiritual journey you're on, no matter how many spiritual journeys you've been on, you are welcome and celebrated here. We are glad you are growing our community and our experience by being here. Okay, so now let's look at who we are and what we're up to. Maybe. There we go. Our vision is contributing to a world that works for everyone. Our identity statement says that we are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Guided by Spirit, together we build a joyously engaged, inclusive community intent on uplifting and transforming lives. And our mission is that we are a welcoming, inclusive, spiritual community where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. So we've got some things going on, ways that you can connect, ways that you can engage. Let me go through those very quickly. So I actually do listen to your input, and I take it into prayer and consideration. So there's some slight changes in the morning meditation offerings. The 365 is now 7 days a week. The Just for Today that happens at 10 a.m. that is interactive is Tuesday through Saturday. Because it, and I'll talk more about this in our talk today of returning to sanity. But they're changes that are healthy. So that's what we're doing. We have 2 book studies that are happening. The Numinous Factor The Spiritual Basis for Science and of Life by John L. Walker. That happens on Tuesday evenings from 5 to 6:30. Everyone is welcome. It's helpful if you have the book and read it, but it's not mandatory. Just come. Let's connect. Let's discuss our ideas. The other book study that we have is Build the Life You Want, The Art and Science of Getting Happier by Arthur C. Brooks and Oprah Winfrey. That one happens on Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 8. Yeah. Had to check to see if I fixed my slides because I had the days backwards on them before. Okay. So this one I really want to take a moment with. Are you the missing piece? That's the question. We have numerous service positions that make this Sunday morning thing work. And we need help. We need help. We have a video tech team that sets up the live stream equipment and sets up this lovely thing behind me that projects onto the wall so that we can actually have visuals in the room. We have an audio tech team that is currently me that needs relief. And that's just simply setting up the sound equipment. It is literally a very simple system. It is a plug and play. I am happy to work with you and educate you, as is Don, with the video team. You don't have to have any prior experience. It's helpful if you do, but you don't have to. What you do have to have is a willingness to learn and the ability to learn. And then, Don is one of the most patient coaches I have ever come across. Way more patient than I am, so I'm learning from him. We have a welcome team that sets up the table over here on this side of the room with all of the information on it. We have a hospitality team that sets up the refreshments. We have readers that do the sacred reading. We've added the community values piece. That, the reader can do the reading and the community value and the presider roles if they choose. But those are things that people walked away from when I first got here because folks were tired, and I get that. And so I'm asking folks now to re-engage, reclaim this community, because it's not healthy for it to be the Rafe Ellis show. It's your community. Let's everybody get involved in the whole thing. So there are sign-up sheets for all of that over there on the clipboards. And again, if you're interested, if you're even willing to explore the idea, sign up. Someone will contact you, and we'll go from there. You're not signing your life away, I promise you. And if you try it and it doesn't work, you get to say that. There's also online engagement, and if you're in our online community, that is something that you can do. You can actually do the values and the spiritual reader roles as well, because with technology we can pre-record it and I can bring you into the room through the PowerPoint. So there are ways for everybody to be engaged beyond the walls, beyond the zip code. Okay. So now, if you missed any of that stuff, because I know I just threw a lot at you, you can go to our website, columbiacsl.com/events. Quick note on that, our website is in the process of changing. I am building a new website. It's exciting. I need updated pictures. And so if folks happen to be milling around before service and after service, and you're willing to have your picture on the website as part of this community, just snap photos of each other with your phone and email them to me at info@columbiacsl.com. Take pictures of me during the service. We need fresh photos of our community now so that we can update the website. I was playing with the app. We now have an app that comes with the new website. It is very cool. You push a button on the phone and the app comes up. It has a prayer wall where if you want to submit a prayer request for the whole community to hold you in prayer, you can do that on the prayer wall. It has You click one button and the whole list of all of the calendar events pops right up. It has a place for me to add in sermon notes so that you have those at your fingertips. It is a very cool thing. So more about that as it gets built out, but I'm excited. The other thing that you can do is you can call and text us at 410-750-8559. And so now we're going to sing our next community song, Thank You for This Day by Karen Drucker. And again, do it however you do it. Here we go. And no, it's not Carole King. I know everybody's like, what? For day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. My healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay. So I'm not going to actually spin the wheel this morning, but I am going to frame it in a question. Numerous questions have come in, and I just have not had time to write them on the wheel. So I'm going to take it home with me today after service and get it all filled down. But here's the question that came up this week that I'm going to put in the context of today's talk. How do I be in the solution without getting stuck in the problem? Which is, in my mind, which I don't often go there unsupervised. See, those of you who really know me get that. It's a perfect question for this idea of being returned to sanity. How do we address the problem, be in solution, without getting stuck in the problem. So we will talk about that more in the context of the second step when we get there. And so now we're going to do our faith inclusion and our sacred reading. But first I'm going to turn on the microphone for Mary Jane. There you go.
Our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a dedicated study and a great synthesizer, identifying the common and connecting threads within the various religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom teachings of the world. Science of Mind is the synthesis of Ernest Holmes' lifetime of study. Let us breathe together as we light a candle, honoring some of these faith traditions. As we light the first candle, we honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. As we light the second candle, we honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and Four Noble Truths. As we light the third candle, we honor Judaism as a path of ethical living through sacred law. As we light the fourth candle, we honor Baha'i as a path of unity and peace. As we light the fifth candle, we honor Islam as a path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest calling. As we light the sixth candle, we honor Confucianism as a path of deliberate tradition. As we light the seventh candle, we honor Taoism as a path of harmony and balance. As we light the eighth candle, we honor all indigenous peoples' traditions as paths that recognize and honor spirit in all of creation. As we light the ninth candle, we honor Shintoism as a path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we light the 10th candle, we honor Hinduism as a path of knowledge, action, and devotion. As we light the 11th candle, we honor Akan as a path that honors the divine, ancestors, and nature. As we light the 12th candle, we honor all New Thought philosophies as a path of adherence to universal spiritual principles of love and law. As we light this final candle, we honor the multiplicity and diversity within the wholeness of creation as sacred. Namaste, and so it is. Our reading today is adapted from Just for Today Daily Meditations, published in 1992 by World Service Office, Incorporated. It begins with a quote from page 24 of the Narcotics Anonymous Basic Text. The only suggested guidelines are that this power be loving, caring, and greater than ourselves. We don't have to be religious to accept this idea. The point is that we open our minds to believe. Narcotics Anonymous Basic Text, page 24. A growing concept of God. In a lifelong process of coming to believe, our understanding of God will change. The understanding we have when new in our spiritual journey will not be the same when we have a few months or a few years into our journey. Our initial understanding of a power greater than ourselves will most likely be limited. That power will keep us on the journey, but we may hesitate to pray because we have placed conditions on what we will ask our higher power to do for us, especially when we begin to understand our higher power can only work through us. As we grow in recovery journeys, so does our understanding. We'll begin to see that the only limits to God's love and grace are those we impose by refusing to change. The loving God we come to believe in is infinite, and the power and love we find in our belief is shared by nearly every spiritual seeker around the world. Just for today, the God I am coming to understand has a limitless capacity for love and care. I trust that this higher power is bigger than any problem I am experiencing.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I find myself.
That the only limits to God's love. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence
myself.
God is all that is, and God is all that really matters. This one power, one presence, one life is everywhere present, in every moment, in every situation, in every place, and ever ready to be the grace and peace and healing and wisdom and joy and love that lifts us beyond condition, beyond problems, beyond pain, beyond suffering, as we allow it to be within us. And so on behalf of all of us, I speak this in the I am. I know that life is about change. God is change and creation. And yet God is ever present as the master creator, absolute wisdom, absolute love, forgiveness, and healing, absolute joy, and all that is good and life imbuing. That is God. We have always heard a peace beyond human understanding. God, make me a vessel of your peace. This is how we can be in the solution, a vessel through which something new can come forward. And so I, on behalf of all of us, I allow my ego to stand down and I allow my soul to be that presence of God that guides within, that fills my heart, that opens me to say, yes, I am a vessel. And I recognize that whatever I am guided to do, to say, and how to show up, however foreign that may feel, I know it is that wisdom of the Absolute, of the Master Creator, asking me to be in the solution without being stuck in the condition. And so I choose a higher wisdom, a higher love, a higher understanding than human beliefs, knowing that as I do so, I am part of the solution without being stuck in the condition. I welcome being that channel of a peace beyond my understanding and being part of that flow of the divine into all life on this planet with love, respect, reverence, and joy. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Let us continue this inner journey, breathing deeply the Ruach HaKodesh, the Imi Alaju, the divine breath upon all civilization, as we listen to this poem from Sonic Yogi, Awakening in the Dream. Follow me now into peace. You will see this life as often a dream we keep. This dream we keep that seems so real, we touch and taste, think and feel. But there's a piece we often miss, and that piece goes something like this. In the quest to run from fear, so many times it is drawn near. And when we try to withdraw or run, in reality, the unwanted is just begun. So stop and look. Don't be afraid. The road ahead is the one you've paved. So pave it with kindness, goodness, and cheer. And remember, the kingdom of heaven will always be near. Now turn, cast your eyes upon the sun, and let your thoughts scatter all but one. And in that one, hold this thought dear. Know that love will always conquer fear. When fear is faced in love's true test, courage joins the east and west. So in this moment, now, seek stillness of mind. And in your heart, it's this peace you will find. In the depths of your soul, you will find this link from your weakness and vulnerability. You will find true strength. Now, see this in all of humankind. Stay fixed on the truth. Never again to this. Be blind.
we go. So before we get into the talk, we could just stay in this space and bring to your heart all of the folks that were impacted by the 2 plane crashes this week. And just visualize them cradled in the arms of infinite love. And then if you would, just expand that to all of humanity. Let's take a breath. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is integrity. I'm going to do our community value. And it's as simple as sharing what integrity means to you in the moment. It's not a talk about integrity. It's just in this moment when I think of integrity, what I think about is a wholeness, an integration. That the integrity of a thing is the wholeness of a thing. It's not about right, wrong, good or bad. It's just about the wholeness of a thing. So that's as simple and as difficult as that exercise gets. So our theme this year is first things first. Living a practical application of spiritual principles. There's our February focus. We are literally walking our way through the steps and the traditions that were founded back in the mid-1930s to late 1930s by the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and the brilliance of creation that gave these beautiful gifts to these 2 guys. And this week, we're starting into step 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, is the wording of the actual step. And so we're looking at it from the perspective of coming to believe that we are being restored to sanity, that something in us is actually revealing sanity. So there's a couple of premises that we have to deal with. First of all, that what is insanity, right? The most graspable definition I know of insanity is repeating the same mistakes and expecting different results, right? Also known as being a human being. I mean, we consistently repeat the same thing and expect different results. We might tweak it just a little bit, right? But ultimately, we're engaged in the same practice over and over and over. And I think ultimately the foundation of our collective insanity is separation. And there's 1,000,001 ways that we separate. It's still separation, and it makes us act insane. The most challenging part of this premise, I think, for many of us is the idea of being restored to sanity, because to be restored to sanity suggests that it already exists. Right? We're not becoming sane. We're not creating sanity. We are being restored to our natural state, which is sanity. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, when I first entertained the notion that my natural state of being was sanity, No part of me was buying that party line because I had never felt sane a day in my life. And perhaps one of our challenges is that other people are defining what sanity is supposed to look like. Right? It is no secret, regardless of any of our political affiliation, that we are in a very chaotic time right now, politically, in our country. And we're watching things systemically being rolled back to something. Now, those that are rolling them back will tell you that that is a restoration to sanity. That's just their perspective. Right? There are times when I returned to a behavior that I thought was sanity, only to find out, yeah, not so much. But I had to go through the process in order to get to the sanity. I had a therapist one time share this theory with me. She called it her troop theory. That we're all born with a certain number of troops to help us fight the battles of this human life, this human journey. And as we go through life, those battles that we don't finish, the skirmishes that we don't complete, some of our troops are still back there fighting. Right? And then all of a sudden, we arrive at a point in adulthood where we're troopless. Because all of our troops are busy fighting all of these unfinished battles. Right? All of our unhealed stuff. And the process of recovery is going back to the most recent skirmish, finishing it, collecting our troops, and going back to the next one, and finishing it, and collecting our troops. Because her theory was the initial skirmish is the most damaging one and requires most of our troops. And so, rather than jumping back to that unequipped, finish every skirmish. Resolve every unhealed thing. Build up our troops so that we arrive at that core issue fully equipped, fully prepared, fully armed, whatever word works for you, to resolve that. Now, the brilliance of that is that all of these troops that we're reclaiming have experience. And every troop has, because they went through these skirmishes and kept going. So the ones that, as we collect, we're not only building our strength, we're building our brilliance. We're building our experience. Because they have knowledge of what we're going back to. Right? You can think of it as troops. You can think of it as parts of yourself. Whatever works for you. It is a way to imagine reclaiming ourselves, restoring ourselves to sanity, healing ourselves. The worksheet that's available for this week has 3 sections, breaking down the first part of the step. It starts with, we came. We came. We arrived. We had something in us that awakened us to a curiosity. And so we came to that curiosity. We just arrived at it, right? And it invites you to explore, when did you first become spiritually curious? What sparked your spiritual exploration? To go back and remember that. And then the second part of it is, we came to. We came to believe. So we came, then we came to. We actually woke up a little bit. we realized how incredibly asleep we had been. It invites you to go back and remember the very early parts of your spiritual journey. Where did you explore? How did you explore? What did that look like? Right? And then we came to believe. And what was your journey of coming to believe? What was your journey of wrestling with discordant beliefs? Because in order to come to believe something new, we have to wrestle with what we've been believing. Right? And too many of us want to just magically have a new belief without resolving the belief that is in conflict with the new belief. It doesn't work that way. That belief that you can't even identify where it came from, you've just always believed it, is a generational belief. It is a generational belief, and the reason we can't identify where it came from is because we don't know. It happened so many hundreds of years ago, we don't know where it came from. But just because it's always been there is no reason to keep it there. Right? That's one of the challenges that we're experiencing, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that we are in Black History Month, and for the first time since I've been aware of Black history, it's not being mentioned in our national conversation. In fact, it's being intentionally not spoken of. Now, admittedly, it's controversial even for people of color. I've had many conversations with people of African diaspora who are like, why do we need a month? Which month is white people's month? Right? And why is it the shortest month on the calendar? I mean, there's all kinds of conversation around it. So let's not dismiss that we have human dialogue about it. But I think there's something really interesting and powerful going on that it has been dismissed from our national conversation. It's dismissed from our country's website. Like it doesn't exist. And I understand the mentality of that being part of returning to sanity. I don't have to agree with it to understand it. So how do we address the problem without getting sucked down the rabbit hole? What's the solution? What's the solution? If Black History Month is being summarily erased, celebrate Black History Month. Celebrate it boldly. Celebrate it loudly. If you're on social media, post something magnificent every day about Black history and about the Black accomplishments. Celebrate it. Quit waiting for somebody else to celebrate it for you to jump on board. I think this dismissal is a huge opportunity for us to all step up. Quit following what the government does and do you. If it's important to you, celebrate it. If it's not, okay, be honest about that. I don't wait for the White House to celebrate my birthday. Do you? Does anybody sit around wondering when the acknowledgement from the White House is coming before you celebrate your birthday or your wedding anniversary? No. So why are we waiting for the approval of leadership to celebrate anything that's important to us? If we normalize the deepest compliance in terms of falling into the problem is to normalize it to where we no longer notice that it's a problem. And silence and inaction does that. If we just all throw up our hands, first of all, what we're saying is that we are 100% victims, which means we're 100% separate, which means God has zero power now. Creation has zero power, and the only thing to be restored to is insanity. And it's a quick trip because we just threw up our hands and went there. If we really believe that there's one, then we really get to begin to understand it is acting as us. Creation isn't creating anything new. Creation created everything when it came into existence, whenever that is. It's just expressing creation differently over and over again. There's nothing new. The quantum field, there's nothing new in the quantum field. It's just a new expression of what already is, infinite possibility. So maybe our return to sanity is a return to newness, is a return to expressing something magnificent that we haven't expressed yet. Maybe it's not your thing to grab a sign and go march in the streets. Great. But maybe it is your thing to celebrate Black History Month during the month of February in some form or fashion. And there's an infinite possibility. There's infinite possibilities. And I certainly don't know them all. But what I know is if it's important to you, you know. See, and we have to stop convincing ourselves that we don't know. If I had $1 for every time folks in spiritual community started conversations with me with, I don't know, I would be one of those oligarchs. I'd have enough money to be one of them. Right? Quit lying. You do know. We are infinite intelligence in form. Everything we need to know, we already know. The only thing separating us from it is the lie that we keep repeating, the insanity that we keep repeating of, I don't know. So I invite you to say, I am unaware of what I know in this moment. It's a movement back to sanity. I'm unaware of what I know in this moment. And now you're at a point of choice. Do you want to be aware? Because you get to choose. Because the next thing you can say is, I choose to know what I know. I choose to be aware of what I know. And then listen. Now here's where it gets tricky, and I'm going to wrap up with this. What you hear next may not be what you want to hear. Right? What you hear next may rattle you. What you hear next may make you go, oh, hell no. Nah, I ain't doing that. Okay. Now you're in a conversation with your divine self. Now you're in that conversation, the I-thou conversation. That part where we talk about in our what we believe statements, those who stay in close contact with the divine, the human self and the divine self are now communicating. Excellent. And there's no way to do it wrong. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But at least you're at a viable option when you know. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, okay, how? I hear that. I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea when to do that. I have no idea where to do that. I'm scared to do that. Whatever it is. To change the dialogue. First we come. Then we come to. And then we come to believe. It's all about the conversation we're having with ourselves. In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, listen. You will hear you. You will hear the God you. It's not separate than you. And you will know what to do. And I promise you, the more you do it, the more sense of self you claim, the more powerful you begin to experience yourself. There is a power greater than you that is expressing as you. Access it. Access it. Let it just, you're not even letting it in. Language is so messy, right? We're just becoming aware of what's in residence as us. It is you. When you look in the mirror this week, just play with the idea of, wow, that's what God looks like when it just wakes up. Huh. Because it is. That's what God looks like as you. That's what creation looks like as you. That's what the divine looks like as you. Whatever word works for you. Right? But to just own it. Right? Because that's who you are, beloved. And the power of that power is your power. It's like the reading said, the only thing that limits us is what we tell ourselves about it. And I invite you this week to go back to re-explore that childlike innocence, that excitement that started your journey, that may seem so far removed. Let's reignite that passion and see where it takes us. Let's take this into prayer. And so I feel the vibration of one. I recognize it because I am it. I recognize it because all of life is it. I recognize that it has been talking to itself this morning. It has been listening to itself this morning. One power, everywhere present. The solution, already present. And so I claim and affirm that we are bridging this apparent divide, this apparent separation, this mental separation that disempowers us to be the power that we are. That one thought at a time, one awareness at a time, we are waking up to the truth of our being. That we shift our focus. That the problem brings us awareness, and then we focus in on the love and the peace and the power and the intelligence and the brilliance that is 100% present. And we invite the knowing of what is ours to do. We choose to be aware of infinite intelligence within us that knows what it knows. The power greater than our human self that knows exactly how to enact that wisdom. We let go of comparing ourselves out and we compare ourselves in. We stand in the authenticity, the origination of creation expressing as and never separate from. And I am so grateful. I am grateful for the activity of law, the soul of creation, that as soon as it's said, makes it so. So I know with every fiber of my being that it is already done. Before I see it, I know it. So I stand in that truth. And I let go of all of the human jibber jabber in my brain that tells me I need to see it first. I let go of all of the human jibber jabber that tells me I need to control something. I let go because it's already done. And so I celebrate that and I look for the guidance as it is revealed. And I invite you to join me as we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. Okay. I keep thinking of Esther in the Bible for such a time as this. And the risks that she took. All right, so I'm going to invite Gary to come up and get ready while we move into our time of offering. And these are the ways that you can give. And I know I have it in my script here somewhere. There it is. Okay, you can text the word give. Would have been helpful if I'd have put the number. To 410-498-6175. You can mail a physical check to 659 Cog Court, Millersville, Maryland, 21108. You can access our giving portal on the website, columbiacsl.com/donate. And once you've accessed that, you can do a one-time gift or you can set up a recurring gift. If you have any challenges, please reach out to me so that I can assist you in walking through those. And so now let's say our giving affirmation together. Here we go. I am the abundance of creation is my abundance. Let me start that over again. There we go. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely as creation gives to me. I give through Columbia Center for Spiritual Living to ensure its continued availability to all spiritual seekers. And if I could have at least one usher to... You got that, Dale? Thank you, dear. All right. All yours, Mr. Gary.
I'd like to share these two drums here with you. This one, they originate from Africa. They were West Africa, in fact, the tongue drums. Tongue drums are hollowed out logs that are either as small as my hand or it could be 6, 8 feet long, hollowed out, and they cut what they call tongues on the tops of the wood, where those tongues, like these fingers, form these melodic notes. Now, all around the world, in every continent, these beautiful artists make metal tongue drums. The two I have here are from Russia, the Rafe drum, made of steel, beautiful, and from the Ukraine, the Gouda drum from the Ukraine, where the beautiful artisans from the Ukraine allow you to have etched whatever design you would like on your drum and in the keys that you would like. And so this Gouda drum here is in the key of D. And this Rafe drum from Russia, the A. So I give you this interconnectedness, the integration of all of our DNA.
So I speak a word of blessing, a word of gratitude, a word of recognition for the infinite expressing as money, knowing that it is the divine, sustaining the divine, growing the divine, nurturing its idea of itself as Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. And so it is. Okay, so I have some stuff to communicate. So, I want to read a letter to you from our beloved Jamie Hudson Craig. And I'm just going to read exactly what she has written here. Hello, Love Nuggets. My son's recent hospitalization and subsequently getting pneumonia myself gave me pause. As I listened to Spirit, I had to accept that my life has dramatically changed with the load of caregiving, care management, now for 3 family members, and working full-time. This makes serving outside the home right now too much for me to handle, which I have discussed with Rev Rafe. With great love for the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living community, and gratitude for the opportunity to grow over the last 3+ years, I am writing to formally resign as a board member and music director. I'm honored to have served alongside an amazing group of people. Here's to each of us as we continue on our own paths one day at a time. In light and love, Jamie. And I have her email address if anybody would like to communicate with her. It is jamiecraigcsl@gmail.com, JamiCraigcsl@gmail.com. What I can tell you is that Jamie is still very much a part of the community. She will still be doing music with us periodically. Right now we're exploring her being with us the 4th Sunday of every month because it is her passion, and yeah, she loves it and still wants to be a part of it. She just needs to step back from the leadership part of everything so that she can be more flexible, more available, and quite honestly so that she can care for 4 people in her household, starting with herself. Because that's the thing. If we don't care for ourselves, there's not much to give anybody else. That's why we put the oxygen mask on first. Okay. So there's that piece. And I wanted to wait until the end of service so everybody wasn't sitting here during service going, oh man. Because I know how we do, because I do it. All right, let's see. I have some thank yous. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Mary Jane, for stepping up at last minute to be our reader this morning. Yay. I love folks that are flexible when they walk through the door. I'm like, hi, you want to do this? And they're like, okay. Thank you, Gary, for your flexibility and just... If it's true the one who dies with the most toys wins, you are way ahead of everybody else, brother. I mean, I've actually seen your place. This is nothing, y'all. Brother has got some musical toys, I'm just saying. And I'm looking forward to experiencing how life shows up through you in communion with these things. It's just lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Don, for jumping in and bailing us out on the live stream. At the end of the day on Friday, it was like, well, I'm not sure what we'll do for live stream. I'll just point a camera up at this end of the room and see what happens, because I don't know how to set up the live stream stuff. And as I shared with the team, I have admittedly avoided that, because the more I learn, the more lands on my plate, and I just cannot take on another thing. And it's important to me that our virtual audience gets taken care of too. So I don't know what it will look like if we don't have a live stream team, folks, but I promise you, you'll have something. Thank you, Reverend Jenna, for being our practitioner this morning. Thank you, Deborah Ellis, for engaging with our online folks this morning. She's the one behind the curtain of CSL this morning. Thank you, Rita Miller and Nancy Wilson, for doing our hospitality and welcoming this morning. Thank you. I think that's everybody. Zita, yes, Zita's on the camera. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for showing up and for everything you add. I don't know what Sylvia brought in a magic red bag, but I know she brought something that she showed up with a magic red bag for Gary. So, we're all helping each other get through this. And so on that note, our practitioners. And so Io, you'll notice on Io's picture it says currently inactive. The practitioners have the freedom to step back when they are going through their own stuff. And so Io is taking 2 months to love Io, to be with Io, to focus on Io. So she is unavailable for now, and when that changes, you'll know it because that will change on the slide. The rest of the folks are absolutely available to you. So please reach out if there's any way that we can support you. If you want prayer, you're welcome to fill out a prayer request over there in the basket. Reverend Jenna will be available to pray with you after service, and you can always submit a prayer request to prayer@columbiacsl.com. I want to say this one thing. Earlier this week, somebody literally was carjacked. Okay? That you're welcome to put in a prayer request about that, and I encourage you to dial the numbers of my phone. Right? Something of that significance. I am here to minister to you. And I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Chances are good I'm awake anyway. I sleep 4 hours. That's just how my body does. That's, bless my parents. Because I've always been this way. And even if I am asleep, please, I am happy to wake up and be present with you, including getting in my own vehicle and coming to you. Do I want you to do that if you just have a hangnail? No, I don't. All right? But emergencies are real. Right? And when you have been carjacked and somebody has access to your home and you are terrified, that's a phone call if you choose. And I just want you to know you can do that. And you can do the prayer request too. If you need support, our practitioners are here to support you. Now, I'm going to read our affirmation, then we'll say it together. Ready? Listen. The God I am coming to understand has a limitless capacity for love and care. I trust this higher power is bigger than any problem I am experiencing. So let's read that together. The God I am coming to understand has a limitless capacity for love and care. I trust this higher power is bigger than any problem I am experiencing. All right. So, we're going to do a different closing song because I just do not have the capacity to do the first things first that Jamie so beautifully does. So we're going to shift to I Give Myself Permission, and my audio track didn't load. So we're going to do it a cappella. And the good news is, here the lyrics, I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission. What is it? I give myself permission to give myself permission to live happiness and free. There you go. I have to sing it to know what the heck I'm singing. How weird is that? So let's stand and do our closing song. Here we go. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. Over and over again. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. One more time like we mean it. Self permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. Have a great week.
All the things that I've held dear, the vanities that whispered in my ear, what would I do if they all disappeared? Riches and fame and all that they could buy, I've come to find they never satisfy. What would I gain if my soul's a prize? I don't wanna love what the world loves. I don't wanna chase what the world does. I only want you. I only want you. First things first, I seek your will, not my own. Surrender all my wants to you. Keep the first thing first. To live your truth, walk your ways, set my eyes. Lord, I fix my face on you. All my desires reversed. To keep the first thing first. I give it all, my life in offering. My heart is yours, so have your way in me. Your kingdom's all I wanna see.